The name Napoleon is forever associated with one man, Napoleon Bonaparte, the diminutive Corsican artillery officer who in the aftermath of the French Revolution rose to become a general, then political leader of Republican France, and latterly the first emperor of a new royal dynasty. Eventually defeated by a combined British and German army at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, this dangerous and brilliant man was exiled to one of the most isolated British colonies in the world, St. Helena in the mid-Atlantic, where he eventually succumbed to illness, or perhaps to poison, in 1821 at the age of 51. The Bonaparte family, however, remained prominent, and they kept their royal status, vying in the succeeding decades for legitimacy with the old Bourbon royal family as the true inheritors of the French throne. One more time, a Napoleon would rule France. The dead emperor's nephew, Charles Louis, was elected president of France in 1848 and had himself crowned Emperor of the French in 1852 as Napoleon III. His rule was ended by the Prussians in 1870 when they defeated and captured Napoleon III at Sedan during the Franco-Prussian War. Napoleon III went into exile in England, where he died in 1873 and is today buried. A law in Republican France subsequently exiled all heirs to the Napoleonic dynasty. In 1914, a boy was born in Brussels to Victor, Prince Napoleon, great-nephew of Napoleon III, and pretender to the French throne from 1879 until his death. The boy's mother was Princess Clementine of Belgium. Christened Louis Jerome Victor Emmanuel Leopold Marie, for his French, Belgian, and Italian royal ancestors, he spent some time in England, living with Napoleon III's elderly widow, Empress Eugénie. Educated in Belgium and Switzerland, Louis, Prince Napoleon, as he was titled, became the Bonapartist contender to the French throne on the death of his father, Victor, in 1926. Soldiering was of course deeply ingrained in the family, and when war broke out in 1939, Prince Louis wrote to the French Prime Minister asking for permission to join the French army. His request was refused, undoubtedly over fears that he might begin to grow a power base in the army, perhaps to overthrow the Republic as his ancestors had done twice before. Perhaps not, but there was of course a lot of paranoia, particularly in Republican circles in France, even so long after the overthrow of the last emperor, the name Napoleon still having a peculiar ring to it. Prince Louis Napoleon instead adopted a false name, Louis Blanchard, and enlisted in the French Foreign Legion. His unit was stationed at Saïda in Algeria but didn't see any action before the unit was demobilized on the orders of the Germans after the defeat of France, Prince Louis being demobilized in 1941. Prince Louis now determined to reach the Free French forces in Britain that were commanded by General Charles de Gaulle. To do this, he would have to leave France via Spain over the Pyrenees Mountains, but he was caught attempting to do so. The Germans treated their celebrity captive carefully, even trying to turn him to the Axis cause. One plot involved him conveying the ashes of the former King of Rome, Napoleon I's son, from German-occupied Vienna to Paris, to be interned at Les Invalides, Napoleon's massive tomb. It was a ploy to raise Prince Louis's image among the French. However, he refused. The Germans placed Prince Louis under house arrest, but he escaped and later joined the French resistance, under another false name, Louis Monnier. This unit was part of the famous Charles Martel Brigade and was in action continuously following the 1944 D-Day landings. On the 28th of August, Prince Louis himself was almost killed in action when his 7-man patrol was ambushed by German troops. Badly wounded, Napoleon was the only survivor. After a long period in hospital and convalescence, Prince Louis next joined the new French army, which was part of General Jacob Dever's U.S. 6th Army Group, serving as an officer in the French Alpine Division during its advance into Germany. When World War II ended, he could not live in France full-time, as the law banishing heads of former French royal dynasties remained in force, and he lived mostly in Switzerland and occasionally at a property in Paris. His war service had seen Prince Louis highly decorated for gallantry, the Legion of Honor, the Croix de Guerre, and the Medal of the Resistance. By 1945, he was also the last male survivor of the House of Bonaparte. In 1949, Prince Louis married a French aristocrat, and in 1950 his son, Charles, Prince Napoleon, was born, ensuring that Napoleon Bonaparte's line would continue to the present day. Prince Charles currently styles himself head of the Royal House of Bonaparte. However, his son also claims this title, Prince Louis apparently having named his grandson as his heir before his death. Prince Louis Napoleon, great-grand-nephew of Napoleon Bonaparte, the first emperor, was a first-class soldier and a great French patriot. He died in Switzerland in 1997 at the age of 83. The new film about Napoleon, starring Joaquin Phoenix, looks set to once more highlight the military achievements and failures of the complex personality of Emperor Napoleon I. But for one of the emperor's descendants, that military ability and courage found an effective outlet during World War II, when a Napoleon once again faced down the Germans on the field of battle. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also visit my audiobook channel, War Stories with Mark Felton. You can also help to support both of my channels at PayPal and Patreon, details in the description box below.